posed is, how can I sweep you off your feet, right? And I think it's actually correlated into why I believe men are generally older than women in relationships. And what I wanted to communicate to my friend that I really don't know if I did well then was, generally speaking, men know that in order to be serious about the pursuit of a woman, they need to be able to present something that they've been able to amass from the world, right? So whether it's like financial stability, you know, a steady job, like if you have experience, and it's like whatever it is where the world has rewarded you for what you can do, and like you're able to do that consistently, I feel like that's part of the component of being able to sweep a woman off her feet. And I feel like that's also part of the reality as to why men generally are older than women in relationships, because I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about like grade school stuff. I'm talking about like serious long-term relationships, is because generally speaking, men feel that they have to have something that they can present, you know, in order to be serious, if you really want to have a woman seriously respond to you.
Right. But it's like, okay, you're not in the beginning, early, just meeting. Like, that's not.
Sure. You don't think so? You don't think that when women, like when we first met and I was not employed, do you think it would have mattered to you in terms of us
Yes.
having a second
Yes.
date or a third date?
Yes. You need to have a
Yes, right?
job.
Okay. Right. That's my point, right? That's my point. Like, a man has to be able to show that there's something that he can receive from the world, like some sort of, whether it's a pay, you know, like you're getting wages because of something. The world recognizes me in a way
Okay.
where I'm compensated for it, right? You can see that, and I think without that, to your point, you just said, I would not have had a second.
But I guess what
right?
I'm so with sweeping the woman off her feet, it's like, okay, yes, you can have a job, but automatically sometimes that isn't it. Like, you get people like, you know, shower you with gifts or flowers or just how they talk kind of thing. I think just that piece of, you know, having a job or being financially secure is not the end all be all. I guess.
It's not, but to your point, I can't even have the conversation without it. It's not that it's the end all be all, but I can't get date 2 without checking that box, right? So like, so it's like there's no way for me to sweep you
if
off
you
your
don't
feet
have a
if I don't
job,
have means.
the next question is, would you sit on a golden egg or something? Because like, if you had like a nest egg or something, if you answer, oh, I don't have no job, then how are you paying your bills? Like, that is the follow-up question. But you said if for a second date, like if you, right.
Right. That's my point. Like, I would have had no ability to sweep you off your feet, because you just said if I didn't have a job, there is no date 2. And all I'm suggesting is that the requirement to sweep a woman off their feet means that I have to have the means to do so. So like, I have to have that first in order to sweep you off your feet, theoretically, right? Like, I need to be able to use something to do it. So however, like, maybe I'm just super creative, but even being super creative, like, there's still like something that you can produce in order to sweep a woman off her feet. But to your point, you're looking at certain things right up front, right? And I think, generally speaking, that component is a huge factor for men in terms of pursuing a woman seriously. And I think we know that, like, provision is part of what the expectation is. Now, I'm not saying that's Disney, but I'm just saying that, like, that's a reality that, generally speaking, is adopted by most men, that the expectation of provision and protection, right? And until we feel that we're capable of doing that, a lot of times we're not going to seriously pursue women. You know, I'm not going to say that. In terms of myself, I know that part of me being marriage-minded included feeling that I was capable of doing that, right? Like, there was also other transitions that took place in my life but that was also a big component, was feeling that I had the capability
and
of
I also
doing it.
want to